Hey everyone, how you doing? I am Mark, and this is episode 25 of Minecraft Stoneblock. I am definitely going to kill the Ender Dragon today, but before I do, I am down in our Extreme reactor room. And you may notice that this is offline and getting cold because I have set up a turbine. Whoops, I keep doing that. Those elevators aren't necessarily in the best spot. I set up the turbine that I talked about before. And this is a pretty good sized turbine. It should be using 2,000 millibuckets of steam per tick once it gets up and running, which this reactor should be able to provide no problem. I just have a few last things to take care of. I have to put another row of blades on top of this. So that gives us, the blades are 10 deep front to back, and then there are 32 blocks of Enderium around the shaft, which is the coil, and that provides the actual power generation. So I think this is actually ready to go. All I should have to do is put these last two pieces of glass in, and the turbine forms, and it's not going to run because it doesn't have any steam yet, which is fine. So I am not completely familiar with how all these controls work. Specifically, I'm not sure about the exhaust system here. I'm not sure how we deal with that and the various valves that feed these. So we are going to try and use the all-powerful kitchen sink from Cooking for Blockheads with as our water source, and we're using these signalum plated fluid ducts to move liquid, and because they're a higher capacity than the Ender IO pressurized fluid ducts, and I hope. And we're also using signalum servos to do our water input and output and steam input and output. So if I put that there, and I put that servo on, and I set that to ignore redstone, I hope that is going to start pumping water in. And it is not. That is set to input. Oh, there it goes. Just had to wait a minute. Water is filling up. I don't actually know if this is going to be fast enough to provide the water that we need. So the next thing we do is, this is putting water in. This one is going to be taking steam out. So we do the same thing here. We set this servo disable or always active, and that should be taking steam from here and pumping it into our turbine fluid port. And it already has 4,000 millibuckets of steam. That's interesting. And we can also pump the water out of this. And this is the part that I'm not sure of. We look at this, see we have full steam. I'm not sure which of these settings is going to be the right one for pumping the water. So our reactor is currently offline. We're full on water, we're full on steam. Let's go ahead and turn on our reactor. And I don't want to engage the coils, but I want to activate the turbine. And we immediately have tons of steam, and our rotor is running at 0 RPM. We're producing 2 RF. And I'm not sure why we're running so slowly. Let's set this to vent overflow. let's just see what this spins up to. It's moving very slowly. These do take a long time to spin up. I didn't think it would take that long to spin up, however. We have no steam. That is interesting. We have no water. Okay. I'm guessing that we just don't have enough of a water source to provide the steam we need. So, looks like my idea of the kitchen sink isn't going to work. I'm going to have to figure out a better water source. Or maybe our pipes just aren't fast enough. I really don't know. That is only producing 120 millibuckets. It looks like it's sending 120 millibuckets, which is not very much. Producing 265 RF per tick. Alright, I clearly have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how better to get some steam in here. So I will be back when I figure something out. Okay, I am back. And I figured out, I think, what the problem was. And that is, there were a couple things going on. The first one is the fluid ducts don't seem to work with extreme reactors. It seems like there is some bug or glitch with those that they just don't perform correctly when connected to a big reactor or an extreme reactor. So that was problem one and really the core problem. You can see now that our reactor is running. We have 2,000 millibuckets of steam in here, which is pretty much the max that this reactor will hold, even though it shows more. And because that is the limit that this will go to. So this is running. It's almost stabilized. The target RPMs is 1800, and we're pretty close to that. I'm satisfied with that result. I did have to go in, and you probably can't see it from here, but I did have to mess around with the coil back there a little bit to balance the coil versus the number of fans. I had to take off one row of fans, which means we are running at 72 as opposed to 80 blades. So we're not quite 100% here. You can see actually 72 of 80. So it took a little tweaking to balance this out. And you can see that this is still going down very slowly, but we're about at our steady state there. 23K RF per tick. The only downside I've noticed is our reactor is running pretty hot, which means we're using more fuel than we were before. It is not a big deal. We have plenty of fuel. I suspect that this is because we're only pulling 2,000 millibuckets of steam out per tick, as opposed to the 8,000 plus that this reactor is actually producing. So I will probably set up a second reactor over here and just mirror this layout. I did discover something as I was doing this, and that is the fact that it's probably better to lay these out vertically rather than horizontally, because the horizontal size limit is 18 maybe, 16 maybe. Anyhow, the horizontal size limit is smaller than the vertical size limit. So if you turn them vertically, I could have done a full set of fans with the full coil that I needed without hitting the size limit. So that's why I had to tweak things out the way I did. So we have power. This is running. I want to go upstairs quickly and see what our total. We are now doing 53K RF per tick, and we're at 2.943%, and that's all good. I want to make one last look here. You are steady stating. Yeah, you keep slowing down as you go down. So that's steady state. This is 2848. That's been pretty steady for a while. So nothing is going to blow up, and we're good to go. So the next big thing that I wanted to do, and I wanted to do at this episode, is go through this thing right here. I made an end portal, which of course is laying down the end portal stones in the appropriate layout and making sure you're standing in the middle while you lay it out, because otherwise they don't face the right direction and you end up with a broken end portal that you can never break. Because these blocks are, I think, for all purposes, indestructible. Once you lay out the blocks, you throw in the Eye of Ender into all the blocks, and that creates the end portal. So that is ready to go. The other thing I did in between episodes was I went ahead and upgraded all our armor to Wyvern upgrades. So we have a ton more shield, we have a ton more shield recovery, we have a ton more RF stored in this, and, you know, we're doing well. If you look down in the lower right, or lower left, excuse me, you can see we have 678 shield. We're carrying around 128 million RF in our shield, in our armor buffer. So we're in good shape defensively. Offensively, we have our crossbow in here somewhere, and we have our sword. I'm probably going to use the crossbow for most of this. I want to make sure that we have everything we need in an easy to access location, just in case. I don't think this is going to be too bad, but I've actually only killed the Ender Dragon once, so I'm kind of a noob when it comes to that kind of stuff. And let me just dump off. I think what I want to do is I'm going to leave the Dank Null and the Better Questing book in there, and I don't think there's anything in here that I really need to carry. I can't carry this. That's just giving us some extra RF. I will carry that, I think, just in case. And I'm trying to remember how you inactive. I think it's we shift click. Yeah, so you can see it just changed to charging armor mode. So if we take a hit and our armor starts to lose energy, it's going to recharge from this flux capacitor. And none of this really matters because our flux network will recharge our armor across dimensions, I am pretty sure. So I'm going to stick this bag into our A system because I don't want to carry all those tools. And actually, now that I've done that, before I do that, let me pull it out quickly. I may as well stick you and you in there, just so we have only the things we need. I don't even need the wireless crafting terminal, but I'm going to take it along just in case we want something from our AE system, because that works across dimensions too. So I think we're ready to go. This is not a super fast crossbow, so it is going to take a few minutes to kill the dragon. And we do want to get Dragon's Breath, so, you know, I'm going to take my time and do what I need to do to get everything done, and we're across. Okay, so first things first, we need to destroy all the pylons on top of the pillars, so we can kill the dragon. They're going to be regenerating him. And flight in this mode is definitely a bit slower. And we don't want to get hit by that explosion, because that explosion really hurts. And you can see we're one-shotting those with our crossbow, and this crossbow has really accurate aim, so oops. So we're going to have to go down here and mine out a little bit of iron bars. Oh, that's Dragon's Breath. So let's stand back. The first time I came over here to kill a dragon, I decided I would just break that by hand. And as I discovered, that is a bad idea. Because blowing up one of these end crystals just one-shot me. And I was wearing good armor at the time. Not as good as what I'm wearing now, but I don't want to try it again. So, blow up the last crystal. And now all we have to do is worry about... Now. Come here, dragon. There's a lot of Endermen running around. Those are Friendermen. Alright, so I need the dragon to land and breathe. Because I do want more Dragon's Breath. And you have to be in a certain range of him to make him breathe. Yeah, we do considerable damage. Alright, there's some more Dragon's Breath, so let's grab this quickly. Oh, that isn't Dragon's Breath. That is that other stuff. There we go. Alright. 17 Dragon's Breath. This is enough for what I need to do. Now it's just a matter of Mark being able to aim. Now you can see we're taking a pretty good chunk of life every time we shoot him. And I believe he's immune while he's sitting on the pedestal there. And I really can't aim today. I should have probably turned up the music. I guess there's really good music to this. Maybe it's too late. I'm awful for having music on in games. I usually don't ever have it on. We're at about halfway. Sure, we can try and grab some more of this. There we go. Alright, come on, dragon. Let me kill you. 3 more shots ought to do it. Don't land. Wow, I really can't shoot. There we go. We get a bunch of fireworks, and the dragon dies. and a bunch of hostile ender mobs show up. And we run around and pick up everything useful we can find. So obviously we want the dragon egg. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm skipping the credits. And I'm on fire for some reason. And lagging out awfully. And, oops. Alright, we are back. I crashed when I accidentally came back through the end portal there. So, not sure what happened, but you can see we picked up some dragon scales from Tiny Progressions. We picked up the dragon heart. And we picked up some dragon scales from Mystical Aggreditions, which I'm not sure what they do, but I am going to run back to the end, because I want to make sure we picked up everything. And why can't I not fly? Why can I not fly? Oh, because I can't actually double tap. User error, I think, is the answer. So let's head back over. Hopefully we won't crash this time. Are you guys still hostile? You really can't kill me, guys. Alright, are you settled now? I just want to run around and see what else we can pick up here. Like, this is a dragon egg, but it's not really. I do not know. Oh, we have some ender bees. Anyhow, I'm just going to clean up around here and see if there's anything else to grab. I don't think there is. Alright, I am finally back. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but every time I travel from the end back to my base, I end up crashing. So I went back a couple times, I looked around. I did eventually find the dragon egg, which as a noob I didn't realize you couldn't pick up. So I dug a tunnel under it, put a torch under that, and then dug out the end stone below it, so it dropped on the torch, and that makes it so you can pick it up. I even went ahead and killed the dragon twice, just to get a second heart. So we have 2 hearts, we have some scales, we have an egg, and we have more scales, and I'm not sure what these scales are used for, actually. I guess I can make armor out of that from Tiny Progression. Okay. And what do these do? Oh, we can make a dragon egg crux. And what does this do? I'm going to guess that this is going to give us some kind of dragon egg seeds. Yes. Which grows dragon egg essence, which grows dragon egg chunks, which we can create a dragon egg from. And the dragon egg is used it's used for tier 8 solar panels. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we will go ahead and make some dragon egg stuff. It's also used in fusion crafting for chaotic tier crafting of some kind. I don't know what this is. That uses 2 billion RF. So whatever we're making here, I'm not sure I want to make. Okay. Anyhow, the dragon is dead. Long live the dragon. I'm going to stick this stuff in my A system for now, and I want to go back and check on my reactor before I sign off, because I don't want my reactor to blow up. Just out of curiosity, there's nothing sitting around this portal. Nope. All right, let's go take a look at our reactor. You're still pretty stable. And you have totally stabilized. We're just 20 RPM below the ideal value, so I'm happy with that. We're generating 23.8 kRF per tick from this turbine, and this reactor, as I said, will support actually 4 turbines like this. So we can probably, I don't know if I'm going to build all 4, but I will certainly build some more, at least one. So we can make even more power, because who doesn't want more power? So I think this is probably a good wrapping up point. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next time. Now that we have the dragon heart and the dragon eggs, there's a bunch of stuff we can do with the dragon heart. Namely, we can, use it to make another awakened draconium crux, but also what we can do is we can make awakened draconium blocks out of this. So, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do next, and I may actually make these make some seeds, so we can get pretty much an infinite amount of awakened draconium. Remember, we do have the this awakened crux, which is like the one super thing we got out of loot boxes, and we can finally use it because we can make the seeds for it. So that may be what I do next time, is work on some of that and maybe do some more fusion crafting. I may also start pursuing some of the other quests in the quest book, because there's a bunch of stuff left. Namely, we have Avarita to do, and that's probably a good next step. So anyhow, this is Mark signing off. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please consider hitting like, subscribing, and hit the notification bell to keep up with new videos as they go out. And drop me a comment about this episode or future episodes if you have any ideas of what I should do. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.